Hello, this is gonna be an interesting one. And I'm like, where is this gonna go? Because I didn't expect myself to speak about that. But then lately, I've been speaking in a lot of different spaces and online courses and whatever else about this. So I'm like, okay, let's see where this goes because apparently trees as a species have a message for us. And I think with me talking about all of these different plants, which is gorgeous, I think the message of a whole species, that's the word that's coming right now, of plants is also super powerful. So, in a way of us humans learning a lot about plants and nature in general through solemnly observing them, trees are such a good image in that. And I feel like I already see myself. I'm also sitting more straight here. Trees are such powerful, ancient, dormant creatures. If I'm standing before a tree, there is different things I can visually observe, and there is also things that I just know about. First of all, because we're tiny as humans in front of a tree, what I would see is the stem of a tree that is super strong, and it's the one I'm seeing right now outside of my window. It's windy. The tree trunk does not move. There's nothing. It's like just whatever happens, I am there. Especially, I mean, except if there's like really intense things happening in nature. But I have to say, I was twice in countries where there were really intense earthquakes, and the trees felt like the safe ones, the stable ones, because what happens, they're just moving with the earthquake. So, trees, in that sense, teach us about stability and groundedness in life no matter what. They tell us that we are stronger to endure everything. And this is a powerful message that I think a lot of us need. So whenever we do feel shaken up by earth, by the earth, by the world, and we do feel a little bit like destabilized and don't really know where to go or what to do, standing in front of a tree, solemnly observing it or touching its tree trunk can have such a massive effect on us because it can actually give us this message that we can also do it, that we are stronger, that we can do anything. Basically, that, yeah, this stability, this groundedness, this stability is super, super powerful. And if we go further up, which is, I think, the mostly what we do afterwards, is we look at the leaves and at the crown of the tree. And what we see there is actually a lot of softness. The leaves, the tiny branches where the leaves are attached, they're super mobile. They move in the wind. They are here to absorb the sunlight through photosynthesis. And it feels like it's such a gorgeous image when there is wind and you're just lying underneath a tree and watch it move. It feels like with this stability and this groundedness, there is actually so much liberation, freedom, and movement possible, and so much like abundance as well. Because, I mean, I think we've all tried to draw a tree. If we would individually draw every single leaf, it would take weeks to finish a tree. I don't even know how many leaves are on one tree. And what is so crazy is there is like usually one central trunk, and from that trunk, branches are going off. And some of these branches are actually having nearly the size of the trunk, and it splits in two. And then there it goes smaller and smaller and smaller until you have the branches that are tiny, like tinier than my fingers, or even like nearly a few strands of hairs together. There is so much variety just in one tree of everything that is going on. And I mean, I haven't even talked about all the flowers that grow or the fruits that grow on trees. So there's also so many changes and so many stages in the life of a tree that also is super powerful to observe. I think really obviously we can do that with every single plant we observe, but a tree shows us this in a magnitude that I think we humans sometimes don't deem possible for ourselves. And still they're here as this massive ancient teachers. It feels like the wise elders that we often, as the young ones, feel like, oh, it's not important to listen to the white elves. I'm like, yes, it is. It is important to listen to the messages of the trees because the trees have been around for centuries, for years. I mean, there's ancient trees. I don't even know, but I was with a olive tree. I think that was 1,000 years old. That story, they have seen us humans completely different. So who am I to not listen to their messages? Who am I to not learn from their wisdom? And their wisdom definitely is one of observation, and just being stable in your ground is more important than actively doing something. They are obviously doing a little thing, like a tree is changing through the cycles. They um, drop all of their leaves in autumn. They're quite barren in winter. They grow new leaves in spring, and in summer, it's like complete flow and abundance. Um, but it does show us this season, and it shows us that the seasons are important also within us, and whatever comes around goes around. There is no end to it. It just is a continuous flow, and I feel like as humans we often forget about that. The importance, first of all, of shedding the leaves, and so new things can grow. It's a huge, massive thing that we continuously forget, the importance of cycles, the importance of, yeah, cleaning out the closet. And don't mean like the literal closet, even though that's important too, but cleaning out your inside, detoxing the body, but also the emotional, the energetical, the ties of people that no longer are aligned, all of the emotions that could cleanse, that could go through the washing machine, and we're like coming out of like, okay, this feels a little bit more. If we don't do that, and we as a society don't really do that, how do we think that we can grow new leaves? How can we think that we can go into abundance when we never drop the leaves? I mean, imagine a tree that goes through autumn, the leaves turn yellow, brown, but it doesn't drop it, and in spring new leaves grow. It looks chaotic. It doesn't look right. And also it couldn't grow as many new leaves. And the old leaves, once they're brown and yellow, they can't actually absorb the sunlight anymore. So what is the use for that? And this is what we're doing all the bloody time. We're not removing those things. Like really, and imagine the leaves everywhere. This is energies, this is humans, this is emotions that we're not letting go of, and we are actually not being nourished through them. We're carrying them super proud and like, this is me, this is all my battle scars, but they're not serving us anymore. And that is probably one of the biggest messages of trees. Go through the stage of letting go so new things can be born. And don't just go through the stage of letting go so new things can be born, but go through it, let it go, grieve it. It can be hard. Go into your cave, go through the winter, and then the blossoming will happen again when it's due time. And most likely you will be so surprised and you're like, oh my goodness, this was actually so easy. So it's the endurance a tree teaches us. The stability, the endurance, standing there no matter what. The observational piece, I think, is also super, super powerful. And that's why it is so important and gorgeous for us humans to also sit and be with a tree and observe it and learn from that. This is all possible with solemnly our eyes, but I'm a fan of like using all of our senses. So if we have a tree, we can watch it, we can hear the leaves moving in the wind, we can touch the trunk, maybe some also the leaves, we can smell. Have you ever smelled a tree? I have, and it's gorgeous and nice. It has like this earthy kind of super grounding, like oh, kind of smell. You can also taste it. Please make sure that you are first researching if the tree you want to taste is actually edible or not. Like a lot of the leaves, especially in spring. I mean, we're getting towards the end of spring here, but a lot of the trees, leaves, the first ones that grow, and actually there's a limb blossom tree here. So these leaves you can eat, and because the leaves, they're just starting with the photosynthesis, they're super potent for us. So we also receive messages through that, ingesting it. And I think it's definitely something that is very underestimated. The power of the royal, elder, wise family of the trees. And I think this is a massive invitation of like, Make it less complicated. Everyone is talking about all these plants you can buy in shops, and me included. So, but what about if you're just stepping out your feet out of your door and see what is growing in your proximity and how can you learn? And I know in every single cities there is plenty of trees, especially in Europe. You will have lint blossom trees in your proximity, birch trees in your proximity, many others as well. Go to a park, go outside your door and just see it, even from inside. But I'm speaking here, I'm watching like three trees out here, two limb blossom, the third one, I have no idea what it is, moving. Um, and I'm observing it and I'm receiving the messages while I speak to you. So, yeah. And the interesting thing is, okay, I haven't even talked about the root system yet. I mean, the root system, that's like, oof, that is, that is that is, we don't need to speak about that, but trees, their root system goes so deep. That is so strong. That's why they're so stable, is because their roots reach so deep. Their roots go kind of like everywhere. You say, I think, as big as the crown of a tree, is it root system, or even bigger, most likely. So just imagine that this is also something for us. We can't just talk about our crown and everything that is pretty up here and all the money I have and everything shiny, shiny, shiny. Look at my clothes or whatever else if we're not taking care of our stability and our roots, our feet. I mean, yeah, in our physical body, our feet and our legs, but our energetic level to find this grounding and connection because we can't really grow. We cannot grow out there, up there, everywhere if we're not rooted. So that is probably one of the biggest messages. Well, I think I said it 3 times now. That's the biggest messages of trees. But yeah, yeah, definitely. Okay, so go outside, watch a tree, tell me what you see, tell me what you learned. Please forget everything I said and go into your own exploration. Like and subscribe this and come back for more plant magic that will just follow and yeah, and every plant is gonna just reveal itself a little bit before I speak. So we will be surprised. Have a joyful day.